Frederick Allen Show, the very best in choir. Come celebrate with us. Tradition of gospel.
The Frederick Allen Show.
The Frederick Allen Show. The Frederick Allen Show. Gospel music. Gospel music. Gospel. The soundtrack of inspired conversation. It's your boy, Frederick. On the weekly Sunday night, 8 to 9. It's your boy, Frederick. On the weekly Sunday night, 8 to 9. The Frederick Allen Show. The rich tradition of gospel. The Frederick Allen Show. The rich tradition of gospel. The Frederick Allen Show. The rich tradition of gospel.
So I put a little spin on it, and here it goes. Hope you like it. Dr. Ricky Dillon, this one is for you.
Extending heartfelt wishes to all the wonderful mothers on this Mother's Day. We are grateful for your unwavering love and support. To the mothers who have imparted essential life lessons about love and joy, and to those who tirelessly strive to care for their families, we express our sincere gratitude and wish you a joyous Mother's Day from all of us here at the Frederick Allen Show in Studio 236.
Hey everybody, this is Samuel Cole Jr. and you are listening to the Frederick Allen Show at Studio 236 in Philadelphia.
I remember Mama and the love that she gave, kneeling by her bedside. I can still hear Mama say, the people are depending on you, Shirley. Don't you let them down. in a happy way. We went to school with holes in our shoes. We didn't have much, but the Lord saw us through. Mama kept the family together, yes she did. I remember Mama in a happy way. She packed our lunch in an old greasy bag. It might have seemed empty, but it was more than others had. It had a lot of love way down deep inside. Yes, it did. And I remember Mama in a happy way. I remember Mama in a happy way. Now Mama is sleeping in the bosom of Jesus Christ. Yeah. Somehow I know she's smiling. She's smiling over us right now. Look at her there. One day I'll see her again. How happy I will be. Yeah. I remember Mama in a happy way. Yeah, yeah. I remember Mama in a happy way. My brothers and sisters, they're living far apart. Although my mom is gone, she's right here in our hearts. We all gonna pull together and stay in the holy place. Why? I remember Mama in a happy way. Oh, yeah. I remember Mama in a happy way. You know, I remember my mama when I was about 12 years old. I was going to church, playing church. How many of you used to play church? Let me see your hand. Yeah, some of you still play. And I remember I go down Mount Calvary, that's where I belong. And I jump and I'd shout and I'd come back home. But I was still disobedient. I would talk back. And one day, me and Ann here, we decided that we want to play church. Let me tell you what we did. We went out in the back and started playing church. And my brother was a pastor. Me and Ann here, we were the members in the church. And let me tell you something. It's hard to come in contact with Jesus and still be the same. I don't care who you are. I don't care. You can be the chiefest of sinners. You will never be the same. And I've forgotten I've been going down to the church, playing church. Came home still disobedient. Didn't want to wash the dishes. Didn't want to bring the clothes in off the line. Didn't want to do anything. Mama said, I'm sick of you going down to that church playing with God. And then there, we went outdoors. We started playing church. Sat down on the bottom step. My brother was a preacher. And we were the members in the church. And he put some old glasses and put them right here on his nose. And he said, I want you to jump up and shout Jesus 3 times. And I jumped up and I shouted Jesus 2 times. But when I jumped up the 3rd time, something got a hold of me. I couldn't sit back down. Ann ran in the house. She said, Mama, so Shirley is out there playing with the Lord. Mama came to the door. But she looked out there and saw me shouting and dancing all over the backyard, tears running down my face. It's just like fire. Mama looked out there and
Interview
she said,
a dialogue with author Samuel Cole Jr., who is not only a preacher's son, but also an educator and musician, has penned several children's books. Samuel reflects on significant life events, including his marriage to his beloved partner Ashley and the joy of becoming a father to young Kenley. Discover how he balances the demands of fatherhood and marriage.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have Samuel Cole Jr. He's with us tonight. He's a local book author. Sam, I'm glad to have you on my show. Could you tell the audience a little bit about yourself?
Yes, sir. Most people call me Sam, and I'm from Wadesboro. That's where I grew up. My parents actually have a military. My dad was in the military, so I was actually born in Fort Polk, Louisiana. But both of my parents are from Anson, and so somehow they ended up right back in Anson. And so that's why I was raised and went to school and graduated and lived for a little bit. But yeah, that's pretty much my background. I'm married. It'll be 10 years in September. Got a 6-year-old daughter. Currently, I live up here in Union County. So glad to be on.
Let's back up just a little bit, Sam. You said you was a military child. So did you ever live in Louisiana, or you just born there?
I was born there and lived there for maybe a couple of months, maybe 2 or 3 months while he was in there. So yeah, I don't remember any of it. Yeah.
Okay. Now I know your mother and your dad is actually deceased, and if I'm not mistaken, she pastors a church, correct?
My mom is a pastor. So my mom and my dad started Faith Christian Center. I forget the year. I was born in 89, so I imagine somewhere in the 90s, they started Faith Christian Center. And so, yeah, they founded that together. When my dad passed, my mom continued to take on that role as pastor.
Okay, how old were you when you lost your father?
I was, 10th grade, so 2004. So maybe 14, 15, somewhere in that age range.
Okay, was that around like September 2004?
It was in September. Yep, September 2000. September is my birthday month also. So yeah, it was maybe a couple weeks after my birthday. So yeah.
Give me a little bit about your education background.
All right, so educational. So I graduated from Anson Senior High, graduate of 2007. I went on to the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. I graduated in 2011 with a degree in African American Studies, and then came out, taught for a little bit, and I ended up going back to school in 2017. And I went to Liberty University and got my master's in business from Liberty in 2019.
Okay, I just learned something about you. I didn't know you was a school teacher once upon a time.
Yeah. So yeah, most of the people in my family are either teachers or preachers. So when I came out of college, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I actually came back to help my mom out with my little brother who was still in high school at the time. And so when I came back, Anson County, that was something that my mom, with her background, I was able to easily get on into that area. So for maybe 3 years, I taught high school math. I spent some time at one of the challenge academies, just a little bit of time at the high school. So, yeah.
Okay, how was your experience as a teacher in Anson County schools?
So, again, a lot of people in my family are teachers, and so it was very natural. I just kind of stepped into it. Teaching in Anson County, it was, how can I say this? It was an experience because, again, I'm from here. And so I know a lot of the teachers. Matter of fact, the principals, I was very familiar with them. But it's very different coming back to your hometown to teach, especially where you know most of everybody. A lot of the people, it's funny because some of the people I was teaching were still in high school whenever I was maybe like a senior. I remember like some of the students, right? And so,
oh wow,
yeah, that was really interesting. So I came out at 20. How old when you come out of college? What, 2021? And because my birthday's in September, so I was, I didn't turn 21 to my senior year in college, right? So I was 22, and there were some 18-year-olds that I taught, that I remember from college, from high school. So yeah, it was an interesting experience. I enjoy working with young people. That's kind of my lane. Even my work now is working with youth, and so I enjoyed it. I took a lot from it. I learned a lot about, because I consider myself to be an introvert, right? And so coming to a classroom with 15, 20 teenagers, you're gonna have to come out your box a little bit. And so I think actually teaching that helped me to come out of my shell just a little bit.
Yeah, I can see that. I'm surprised to get you an interview with you because most of the time you're very quiet.
Yeah, I'm very introverted. Give me a good book, or a good time for me is just spending time with my family. Right, just my wife, my daughter, hanging out. But yeah, I'm very. I like people though. I enjoy people.
Yeah, you do.
I enjoy people. I appreciate people, but I don't need to be around. I don't feel like to have a good time, I don't have to be around a lot of people.
Right. Well, let's fast track a little bit. We can get down to your book. And I'm thinking and guessing rather that your book is pretty much based off of like a true story or something done with the experiences that you had or have as a father and as a husband. And I see that you've been married to Lady Ashley since September 2015.
Yes, sir. Yes,
okay.
Sir.
And usually I wouldn't ask these type questions, but since you're so transparent in the information you have on your website, she had a difficult pregnancy, if I'm not mistaken, is what I'm reading.
That is correct. That was a bit of a scare for her. So our first child, just to kind of give you an idea, this is our first child. We've never been pregnant before, right? And so she was actually having some swelling during one of the baby showers we were having back in June of that year, 2018. And, she was having some swelling. She was having some headaches. We just figured it was part of the pregnancy. And it's funny because she kept telling me, you need to put the crib together. And I kept telling her, well, I have time, right? Our baby was not due. Kinley wasn't due until August. And so I was like, I'm pretty sure I have time, right? And so she was on me about getting that crib together. And she joked like, she was just like, you need to hurry up, and making it kind of insinuating that the baby could be here any day. But yeah, so she had never had any issues like with blood pressure. None of that stuff runs in her family actually. But due to the pregnancy, what we found out was eclampsia, which is basically pregnancy-induced high blood pressure. And so that's what was causing the headaches, that was causing the swelling. And I remember the night where she actually went into the hospital. So I missed a lot of what happened. So she ended up actually passing out in a Lowe's parking lot that afternoon. And I ended up getting filled in later on that night. So maybe around 8:30, 9 o'clock that night. And so, but what I found out was she, like I said, pregnancy-induced high blood pressure. She ended up having a seizure. She hit her head and passed out in the car. Thankfully, somebody found her, and they ended up calling the ambulance, 911. They were able to come get her, and they realized that she was pregnant. And so at first, from what I understand, she was fine. But then I think the baby's heart beat started to drop or something like that. And so they figured they need to go ahead and do an emergency C-section. And so fast forward all of that, this happened during the afternoon. So maybe around 3 to 5-ish in the afternoon. So I'm at work. I'm going about my merry day. And I actually went to the gym, had a full workout, get home around 8:39. I get a call from a doctor. He's like, you need to come to the hospital. And so, yeah. And so, I don't live far from the Monroe Hospital. And so we go to the hospital and I go into the room and, my wife's hooked up and every light is going off. Right. And the nurses, like, yeah, it was really scary. And she was doing this thing where every few seconds she would kind of like spasm. And so that was pretty traumatic. And so, the nurses, they, we're just trying to get her under control, her vitals and blood pressure and all that stuff. And through it all, like, of course, I called my mom, and I had my mom call her parents. But during that little downtime, we're just kind of sitting there waiting. The nurses are trying to talk to me. They're trying to comfort me, and I'm just like, what is going on? And one of the nurses is like, well, do you want to go see your baby? I'm like, man, I forgot even, yeah, I have a child, right? And so,
Wow.
yeah, in the midst of all this, I'm like, oh, yeah, let me go see my baby. And so they take me out, and they're kind of waiting for me because they're telling me that your daughter they're gonna have to air her to the Levine's hospital, but before she goes, they're gonna wheel out and you can catch a glimpse of her. And so I was like, okay, cool. And so I waited maybe 5 minutes, and then they roll her out, and literally she is like this small, like she is tiny, but she's kicking, and her eyes are wide open. Her eyes are wide open, and she's kind of squirming and moving around. And once I see her, I get like a sense of relief. I'm like, okay, the baby's gonna be all right. Like, I just had a feeling that she was gonna be fine. And so that was the first time getting to see her. It was just like, just imagine a father expecting his baby to be here in 2 more months, and she's here with this little small baby. I think at the time she was maybe 2 pounds, so many ounces. So yeah, that was really traumatic. And I always tell people this because she ended up, going to the NICU, the neonatal care unit for preemies, and she was there for about 41 days, I believe, 41 days, 40, something like that, for at least 41 days, and as many nights. And during that time, we did a whole lot of praying, right?
I know you did.
Yeah, we went up there pretty much every single day. I would go to work, come home, grab Ashley, and we go up there. And on the weekends, we stay as long as we could, right? Till they would kick us out, essentially. And I always tell people this: I love my daughter. If you know me, you know my wife, you know that we love our daughter. And but I will say that I don't know if I would appreciate her this much if we had never gone through this whole situation. Parents love their children, but you really, really appreciate them when you go through stuff like this. It's hard to imagine what life would be without. She's such a blessing to our life. I just can't imagine her not being here. And anytime I get, because she's a normal 6, almost 7-year-old, and she's gonna do things and be a child, but I always go back to that and remember, like, man, my child really is a blessing. So
yeah, she's full of energy, at least when I see her.
yeah, she got all of it, man. She keeps us on our toes for sure.
Okay, so what would you say inspired you to write? I want to say it's 3 books, type of bundle.
Yeah.
One's titled "God Loves Me," the other is "I Am a Heritage of God and Teach Me Your Will."
That's it. So the inspiration, of course, is my daughter, right? But to even take it back a step further, our parents are pastors, and they instilled in us just the importance of God, building that relationship. My mom's an educator, and so reading was always a big part of our lives. And so it was really natural for us when she was born to start implementing some of that stuff, reading and, teaching her some things about, God, church and things of that nature. And so we're busy parents, right? And so trying to be intentional about our time and spending time with our child and making sure that we can actually instill in them those values. The responsibility of putting her to bed at night became my responsibility. My wife, like I said, we're busy. Like, we're professionals. We both work. We have other businesses and things that we do. And so the bedtime routine was something that kind of fell on me. And so we would do a thing where she would quote scriptures. She'd sing a song, of course, brush her teeth. We read a book, and we had this whole nighttime routine. And so that has kind of been the background of those stories, because during that time, right before she goes to bed, we'd have conversations. I'd ask her about, she'd tell me about her day, and then she'd ask these really deep questions about life, right? Some of that stuff I had to be like, let me get back with you on that, right? And in one of the books, so God Loves Me is about, God loving, her, right? Essentially. And in the book, she talks about being afraid at night. And so every child goes to that stage where they're fearful, and you're afraid because you've probably seen something on TV, right? Or you maybe heard something scary, and you really think and dwell on it at nighttime when it's quiet and it's dark. And so, you know, she went through a similar situation. She's like, why do I need to go to sleep? Like, why do I need to go to bed? And her, at the time, maybe 4 or 5 year old voice. And, taking the time and explain to her, sleep is important. It helps you to grow, helps you to be alert the next day when you go to school. But even deeper than that, let's talk about why you're afraid at night, right? What's causing you to be afraid, and helping her understand that whatever you focus on is what you're gonna think about. And so helping her replace that fear with, God's love for you is pretty much the antidote. And so, each book is essentially a lesson, a real life conversation between Kinley and I, right? I think Heritage of God is about, she may have asked me a question about, somebody said they didn't have a father, right? And explaining to her, well, she does have a father. Your friend has a father, just not in the sense that you're used to with our dynamic, with our family, right? Maybe step parents or maybe foster parents, and explaining that to her. And then the last book is Teach Me Your Will, which is basically about God has a plan for everybody. God created us, and he has this perfect plan. And as humans and as people with a free will, we have the choice to decide whether we want to do it his way or do it our way. And, he created us. And so he's got the manual to us, and he knows what's best for us. And just trying to explain these really big concepts to a 6-year-old in a way that they understand it. That is essentially what the book is. And hopefully if, and somebody reading that book, it allows them to be intentional with their child, right? And have these deeper conversations, because children are really smart and intelligent, right? We don't give them, you kind of have to give them more credit than what we do. They're very curious, and they want to know, and they have sometimes really big questions for us.
Okay, for my listeners, so why would they want to purchase your books?
Well, the main reason why I think somebody would want to purchase a book is, number one, everybody's busy. And, like I mentioned with my wife and I, we're very busy. And trying to find time to actually have meaningful conversations with your child can be a challenge at times. And so the book, I believe, could be a good way just to initiate that, right? To help the process of parent-child having conversations.
It's like an icebreaker.
That's the best way. That's a really good way to put it. An icebreaker, a way for, because a lot of times parents and children, there is a, I don't want to say a divide, but there is a language barrier, because we, older or younger, they speak different. We speak different languages, and so at times it can seem like you don't have a lot in common, and that's kind of weird to say, right? Your child, you don't have anything in common with them, but if you really sit and have a conversation with them, you will understand and realize we do have a lot in common. And sometimes parents and adults, that maybe they need a little help to initiate, or like you said, break the ice. But if nothing else, the book can be a conversation starter, and it can be a way to just to break the ice, to create some of those meaningful conversations between a parent and a child.
That's good. That's good. Say I wanted to buy your books. Is there a way I can buy it digital form, like an ebook, or is it actual hard copy? Do I order online? Do the listeners find you online? How do they make a connection with you in order to get this product?
All of the above, right? And so typically what I tell people is, so our landing page is myfathersfavorite.now.site, I believe, myfathersfavorite.now. That's our landing page, and you will find the paperback copies and hardback copies for each book. They can also be purchased on Amazon. All three can be purchased on Amazon. You can get physical copies at Barnes and Noble. They do have on Amazon. They have the Kindle version that you can purchase, and I do events from time to time, and so I keep some copies on me as well. And so if you see me, I'm and you're in the Anson County, Union County, 704, Mecklenburg, surrounding counties, we could probably arrange a time just to meet, because I like to sign the books, right? A lot of people who have purchased or people I know, and so I like to put meaningful messages and things in there just to give it a personal touch.
With closing, what would you like to leave for everyone?
In closing, I would like to say that my purpose as a father, as a husband, is what drives me. And, for anybody from Anderson County who lives in Anderson County, Anderson County is where my heart is. And they've shown me such a huge amount of support, even with the writing and just coming out. And it's been wonderful and amazing. And it's part of just my goal and my vision. I've had conversations about I want to help to change the mindset of Anderson County, right? Good things do come from Anderson County. Good things have come from Anderson County. And it's just, at this stage in my life, like I said, as a father, as a husband, as a son, as an Anderson County native, I really feel strongly about just putting good out, right? And who would have ever thought, I don't know, at least on my end, I won't say I never would have thought, but maybe not the first thing that I will put out is a children's book, but it's all just a piece of the puzzle. I believe that God is going to do something really great in Anderson County, and it won't be just me. I just want to be a piece of the bigger picture, and yourself included. I think, like I said, I think good things are coming to Anderson. A good change is going to come to Anderson, and I just want to help to be a part of that movement. So,
all right, that's good, Sam. But for those of my listeners, author Samuel Cole Jr., he is a native of Anderson County, North Carolina. And for those of you that are not local in the area, you may purchase his book. You can go to his website, which is myfathersfavorite.now.site, for more information how to contact him and also purchase the books. Sam, I thank you for having you on my show. And who knows, I'll probably bump into you next week.
Yes, sir. Honor and a privilege to be on your show. And yeah, Anderson County neighborhood is so big, so we bound to bump into each other.
Exactly. All right. Have a good night.
This is Dee Janes, and you're listening to The Frederick Allen Show, the soundtrack of inspired conversations here at Studio 236.
This month on The Frederick Allen Show, we are thrilled to welcome a remarkable lineup of guests during our weekly Sunday evening broadcast. Among them is Samuel Cole Jr., the author of My Father's Favorite Book Bundle, God Loves Me, I Am a Heritage of God, and Teach Me Your Will. We will also feature Lorenzo Steele Jr., the founder and owner of the first mobile prison art museum, who previously served as a New York City corrections officer for 12 years at the notorious Rikers Island from 1987 to 1999. Additionally, D. Mitra Marsh, the executive director of Amongst Friends, a provider of home and community-based services in the Charlotte metropolitan area, will join us. Renowned singer, songwriter, musician, recording artist, and author Will Harris will also be featured. We will hear from songwriter David Frazier, who has an impressive career spanning over 30 years, with more than 100 recorded songs and 5 published books. He is particularly known for the hit, I Need You to Survive, recorded by Bishop Hezekiah Walker, along with music written for Yolanda Adams, Bishop T.D. Jakes, Karen Clark Sheard, Joe Pace and the Colorado Mass Choir, and Jonathan Nelson and Purpose. Lastly, we will have attorney Tiffany Wilson, honored as Citizen of the Year for 2025 by A Few Good Men in Union County, North Carolina. Be sure to tune in to hear their inspiring stories of success. We will continue in our observance of Eastertide, emphasizing hymns and gospel songs that pay tribute to the blood and the cross of Jesus. Broadcasting live from FMHD MS Radio, Studio 236, The Frederick Allen Show, the soundtrack of inspired conversations.
Over the years, we have seen traditions change and evolve, yet one thing has stayed constant: our commitment to offering compassionate services to those who turn to us in their most difficult times. We offer a range of personalized services designed to cater to your specific needs and wishes. At Monroe Mortuary Services, we take pride in being the leading provider of innovative and customized funeral options. In your time of need, call Monroe Mortuary Services at 704-272-8042. Again, 704-272-8042, or visit us online at monroemortuary.com.
Everybody put your hands together.
Well, I cried and I cried, cried
A special benefit gospel singing program will be Saturday, July 26th at 4 p.m. at New Deliverance Church of Trinity, located at 454 North Green Street, Morganton, North Carolina, 28655. The event will feature music by Purified from Union, South Carolina, the Stars of Zion from Rock Hill, South Carolina, the Angels of Faith from Pageland, South Carolina, the New Gospel Messengers from Morganton, North Carolina, Kathy Barrino and Harmony from Gastonia, North Carolina, the Harris Brothers from Gaffney, South Carolina, and Praise and Worship led by Livingstone Church of God from Marion, North Carolina. Mrs. Donnell Birch is the MC for this event. For additional information, contact Rachel Taylor at 828-228-6868 or Donnell Birch at 828-723-7535. There will be a free will offering.
In order that the choir may be most effective, the choir members must understand this priestly function to encourage and to usher in a spiritual atmosphere conducive for worship, to glorify God and to edify God's people.
Join Willie Mason and friends in commemorating 16 years of dedicated music ministry. The celebration, Sunday, June 1st at 5 p.m. at Galilee Missionary Baptist Church in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Host pastor, the Reverend Dr. Nathan E. Scovins. WM&F is a community-focused choir that embodies a profound love for the Lord and for each other, which is evident in their united spirit. The choir comprises 8 sopranos, 7 tenors, and 9 altos, accompanied by a skilled group of musicians and supportive ministries. Their mission is to make a difference in music ministry. For further details, please visit williemasonandfriends.com.
Consecration and banquet for Apostle-designate Curtis Newsom, Saturday, May 31st at 12 p.m. held at Barber Scotia College, 145 Cabarrus Avenue, Concord, North Carolina. Apostle Louis Gray is speaker. Banquet at Lionel Newsom Gym. Guests include Pastor Marcus Newsom of TP Studios, Mime King James Jr., and Pork Chop and Joshua Ramsey, both of the Carolinas. $40 adults, $15 children aged 6 to 17, and free for kids under 5. Call Elder Young at 980-781-6295 or Bishop Massey at 980-420-7735 for tickets.
This is Albertina Dancy, and you're listening to The Frederick Allen Show.
Long before the first light of dawn, my mother's wisdom guided me and provided unwavering support. It was a strength that endured, never faded, and is still present. When I found myself in difficult situations, my mother rose above all challenges and offered me a helping hand to soften my fall. From the beginning to the end and throughout every moment in between, her consistency was a source of comfort for me. Nothing can compare to a mother's love. It is unshakable and divine. Akin to the heavens above, I am continually amazed by this love which I did not fully appreciate in the past. Even though she is now gone to be with the Lord, she is still an endless blessing. The teaching of invariable lessons, both significant and minor, I'll hold unto the teachings, knowing that even before I spoke, she understood the feelings in my heart. Her unwavering presence remains a consistent source of strength in my life and in my heart. Truly, nothing can beat my mother's love. Remember to treasure the time spent with your mother by fully embracing each moment, showing your love and gratitude, and building unforgettable moments and building unforgettable memories together. Those of you who still have your mothers are truly fortunate and have no idea the depth of your blessing. I am eternally grateful for my mother's unwavering love and guidance. Though she may not be physically present, but her love continues to illuminate my path. She resides forever in my heart. I credit my achievements in my life to the values, knowledge, and physical training I gained from her guidance. I cherish you and I miss you profoundly. Flora Bell Birch Allen. I love you, Mom.
Long before the dawning, into the break of day, your wisdom finds me and leads me on, and never to escape, a strength that shall remain. It's never fading, it's here to stay. When my back's against the wall, you rise above them all, a hand to help me and ease the fall. From beginning to the end, and in the in-between, you're so consistent. For me, can't nothing beat my mother's love. Can't nothing shake what she's made of. She's made like heavens up above. Can't nothing beat my mother's love. I find it so amazing, didn't fully see it then. You've been a blessing without an end. Yeah, I'm forever learning from the lessons great and small. Yeah, you taught me, and I'm holding on. And anytime I call, before a single word, you know exactly what's on my heart. From beginning to the end, and in the in-between, you stay consistent. For me, can't nothing beat my mother's love. Can't nothing shake what she's made of. She's made like heavens up above. Can't nothing beat my mother's love. Can't nothing beat my mother's love. Oh no, can't nothing shake what she's made of. Hey, she's made like heavens from above. Can't nothing beat my mother's love. Ooh. Nothing like a mother's love. Nothing like a mother's love. Nothing like a mother's love. Nothing like a mother's love.
You're listening to The Frederick Allen Show, the soundtrack of inspired conversations.
TNB Ministries proudly presents the Release the Sound Conference, The Spiritual Birthing, on Saturday, May 17th, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Oro Church, located at 1485 Oro Church Road, Pageland, South Carolina. For more information, please contact 904-463-3250. Registration is priced at $50, which includes a prayer board, holy oil, t-shirt, prayer beads, and journal. Brunch will also be provided.
There is no pain Jesus can't feel. There's no hurt that he can not heal. Oh Lord, all things work according to the Master and His holy will. No matter what you're going through, remember God only wants a chance to use you. For the battle is not yours, it's the Lord's. There's no sadness that Jesus cannot feel, and there's no sorrow that the Master is not able and willing to heal. All things work according to the Master and His holy will. No matter what you're going through, remember that God only wants to use you. For the battle is not yours, it's the Lord's. It's the Lord's. Oh, it's the Lord's. Hold your head up, don't you cry. It is the Lord's. It's the Lord's. Give it to Jesus. He knows how to handle you. No matter what you're going through, remember God only wants to use you. Yeah. I am a witness that God will turn your sorrow into joy. Yes, He will. Stay in the race and never give up, for they overcame by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. For it's not yours. No, it's not yours. So let trials come. Jesus will work it out. Yeah. Is there a witness out there that tried Jesus? He is who He said He was. That battle with sickness and that battle with pain, that battle with anxiety, it's all in the Master's hands. Take your burdens to the Lord and leave them there. For the battle is not yours, it's the Lord's. Yeah.
Submit your music for a chance to be featured on The Frederick Allen Show. All submissions to the music library must be in written form. comply with programming standards, and receive approval from the station's program director. For more information, please visit www.frederickallen.online. The Frederick Allen Show is pleased to broadcast church and community news PSAs. To have your announcement aired, kindly visit www.frederickallen.online. Get featured on The Frederick Allen Show or reach out to us today to be included in our e-magazine or to receive live event coverage at 980-290-5654. Advertising with us online is one of the most effective methods to connect with the online audience. With a single purchase, you can reach your target demographic globally through 30 to 60-second commercials. Let us customize your advertising needs today. For inquiries regarding online and radio advertising, please contact admin@frederickallen.online. Stay updated with the latest episodes of The Frederick Allen Show. If you have missed any shows or interviews, you can listen at your convenience on our YouTube channel.
Know ye not that a prince and great man has fallen this day? Brother Joseph Jojo Wallace has departed from this life at the age of 98, born on October 24, 1926, and left us on May 7th as he went to be with the Lord. He devoted 75 years to the sensational Nightingales and will be fondly remembered for the iconic song At the Meeting, recorded by the group. We here at the Frederick Allen Show honor the life and legacy of Brother Jojo aboard the gospel train.
The separating of the right and the wrong. Church, I want to be at the meeting around the throne. Yes, I do. Well, I want to be at the meeting. Talk about a good time. I want to be at the meeting. Talk about joy, unspeakable joy. My Jesus, when all the saints get home. Church, after the separating of the right and the wrong, then I want to be at the meeting around the throne. My Jesus, after the separating of the right and the wrong, I want to be in the number when the saints go marching home. All of my trouble will be over, sorrow will be gone, saints, and then we can go to the meeting around. If you're gonna meet me there, wave your hand and say that I want to be at the meeting. Talk about a good time. Oh yeah. Talk about joy. Oh yes, sir. Unspeakable joy when all the saints get home. Church, when this walk of life is over down here and I no more shall roam, then I want to be at the meeting around the throne. I want to see how many of y'all can identify with this verse that says, when I get to Jordan, walk Jordan just like a man. I'll unbuckle my sword from right off my side. I'll stick it in the golden sand. Talk up to God the Father, and I'll talk to God the Son, saints, and then we can go to the meeting around. If you're gonna meet me there, somebody wave your hand and say that I want. Somebody got a father waiting on them over there. Somebody here got a mother waiting on them over there. If you're gonna meet them there that day, let me hear you say amen. When all the saints, yeah, I can't speak for y'all, but I'm gonna shout and never get tired. Fly and never falter. Or when I get to the meeting around the throne. All of the Nightingales can identify with this verse.
We are Studio 236 FM HDMS.